dreaming a new horizon and a day it all came true. Keller Williams, you make dreams come true. Home sweet home, oh home sweet home, home sweet home.
Welcome to another episode of Home Sweet Home with Russ, McClellan and Friends. Here's your host, Russ McClellan.
Hey, good Saturday morning. This is Russ McClellan with Home Sweet Home Radio. How's everybody doing in the land of COVID? Wow. Seems like every month I say the same thing. Are we ever going to get through the land of COVID? Well, that's a good question. And boy, oh boy, are we having fun with politics, aren't we? I'm loving that stuff. You know, the good news is, it seems like to me throughout history, the world keeps spinning on its axis, regardless of what we might feel or think in the moment, regardless of how negative social media seems to be attacking us on a daily basis, depending on what you say, even if your intent is not to offend. It's almost the ultimate outcome of every conversation, and everybody seems to have a right, and very few people have a responsibility. It's an interesting time. The good news is this. Keller Williams is growing fast. Keller Williams is selling lots of homes. We're on pace to do record numbers. We had our biggest month since we opened. You know, we're an old company. We're a couple years old. Actually going on our third year, although I've had about 32 years in real estate in Chelan. I'm having a blast as the operating partner, and I am so thrilled to have so many amazing professional business people joining our firm each and every month. I think we're increasing our energy at an increasing rate, which I didn't think was even possible not that long ago. But every single person we bring on board adds a completely different set of tools and value and experience. And like I've always said, we're always smarter as a collective than we are as an individual. And today, this show is Home Sweet Home with Russ, McClellan, and Friends, and I have an amazing friend with me, Kay Gossage. How you doing?
Hey, Russ, how are you?
I'm good, man. Excited that you joined our firm, and I thought maybe today we could just, we've got to know each other a little bit over the last month or so, and I just thought maybe we could introduce you to our listeners that maybe don't know you or what your story is and some of the cool things that you do outside of real estate. So maybe we could start by, you're not a native of Washington State. You're kind of a transplant.
I'm a transplant from Chicago. Best city ever.
So it's fair to say that your LeBron James is the best basketball player that ever lived.
Oh, no, I grew up Michael Jordan and all that. Sorry. Wrong year, wrong team.
I'm messing with you, seeing if you were a real Chicago person.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bears, Cubs, Bulls, yep.
Yeah, you know, one of my favorite things, I think we might have talked about this, I always wanted on my bucket list was go to Chicago and listen to Harry Carey sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Oh yeah, I can't help you there anymore.
I
Take
know.
you to the ballpark, but
yeah,
sorry.
the Wrigley Field, man. That was. I remember just playing him on the internet. Like, God, I want to go there. I got to experience that. I did get a chance to go there, and Chicago is a very, very interesting city. It's like, I mean, every city in America right now is interesting, but there are parts of Chicago that were just really cool. I was only there once. But, you know, Bubba Gump Shrimp and the Pier and the Redhead Piano Bar.
Oh, yeah.
So what happened? What makes you go 3,000 miles west?
Okay, so I grew up there, lived there, had 2 of my 3 kids there, and my husband's job brought us out this way. And long story short, I transplanted here to East Wenatchee area, and now I'm out in Ephrata.
Right, and so what's cool about Keller Williams, and what we're really excited is we're going to make a splash into Ephrata Moses Lake.
Yes, we are.
And we literally have hundreds of leads that we're doing some pretty amazing work in what I call the interdependent model, where people can take advantage of this lead generation internal program if they choose to. And one of the things that I see is that as affordability becomes more and more difficult. Growth becomes harder and harder with regulation. Growth becomes harder and harder with available lands and infrastructure and topography and so many limiting supply constraints, I guess, that Moses Lake is rapidly growing with a ton of opportunity. And I'm excited because I think with our partnership with you and being in business with you now, we can do some good things.
I do too. Grant County, Moses Lake has some extremely amazing opportunity, a lot of growth, a lot of potential. There's some areas out there that I think can easily be tapped into for housing, for development. I think it's a great way to go. Yeah. Very cost effective over some of the other areas out here. It's
right.
Great little area.
Yeah, and as we kind of think about how expensive things have gotten. I mean, a lot of the problems. There's many to talk about, but with the lack of subcontractors being one of them, the lack of available lands, all those things I mentioned, the cost per square foot is really jacked up. And then here we have this. I'll use this term in the most polite sort of way: invasion of people that know that we live in a cool spot, and now they can work from home and make the same kind of money they used to have to live in Seattle to make. Well, that creates challenges, right? And one of the things that I think is important to remember is that you can't always do what you've always done and get what you've always gotten, because the world never slows down. It never stops changing.
It changes all the time, yes.
And so as prices go up, maybe Moses Lake, maybe areas like Waterville, maybe areas like Mansfield, maybe areas like Brewster, Bridgeport, Pateros are going to expand, if nothing else, just because of the fact that it's the closer you get to Seattle, the more money is available, and the economic base is different. So what do we do? And is that fair? I don't know. Probably not. Is it going to create challenges for people? Are you going to have to, people are going to have to move? And the old saying, drive till you qualify? Maybe. I know you look around, Aspen, Colorado was cheaper once. Jackson Hole, Wyoming was cheaper once. Whistler was cheaper once. And. I mean, Lake Chelan, Leavenworth are growing at a record pace. And so I think our expectations to maybe not have to drive 30 minutes might have to change. But
I agree.
But you get a lot more for your, but the good news is you get a lot more of a home.
You do, or you get the same home, but at a way, way better price. You get a lot of the stuff still around you. You have your hospitals, you have your shopping, you have everything you need. You may have to drive further from work, but a lot of people are working from home, as you said, and that's what I'm finding. A lot of clients coming, from everywhere.
Right.
Even other parts of the country moving out here and saying, hey, I can work from home now. I just need a space for a home office, X amount of bedrooms or whatever, and off we're going. And it's kind of very exciting.
Yeah, and what's cool about what you do, you have some very specific land use expertise. You've done some different projects from the beginning to the end as far as development. You've learned a lot about that area. So you're a very solid resource for people, I think. And I'm excited. I'm thrilled for you because we're going to lean in and do what we can in management. And, the thing about Keller Williams is you're learning, and I want to get into why Keller Williams for you. But before I do that, how long, it's been about 5-6 years you've been in real estate, right?
Yeah, I'm about five, a little over 5 now, not quite full 5.5. Very excited, continuing learning all the time. Education, I feel, is a good way to learn and experience things, and you can grab anything you need from everything I've learned and put it in to each client who is different. Each opportunity is different. Each transaction is different. And I feel the best way to go is more education to help me, help my clients, better transaction, smoother.
Yeah, and when you get into this concept, what I call a learning-based mentality, it never ends. I mean, the definition of mastery to me, and I might get into it a little bit later, but the definition of mastery to me really just means you realize you don't really know that much.
No, always got to learn. So there's always something new to learn.
And speaking of that, you're also fascinating because you're a quite accomplished musician.
Yes, I have played viola since I was, we'll say 9. We won't do that math, but since I was 9. And recently I've played, since I've been out here with the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra. I'm principal last year and this year, principal viola. So yeah, I do enjoy it. It's my way to relax. Some people work out, some people cook, some people actually run or something horrible like that. I play music, and it helps me relax, and I enjoy it, and I do get to give that back to other people also.
Well, I am all envious of that, because I am not a guy that typically says the word can't. I don't really like that word. I kind of say things like I am currently challenged with, or I'm currently struggling with. But if there is an area that is the opposite of instinctual, it is that side of my brain that I could play the heck out of Mary Had a Little Lamb in 6th grade on the saxophone.
There we go.
I was first chair for like a month.
There we go. Perfect.
In the 6th grade.
Good for you. Awesome. It's all you need. You're musical. You can do it.
It's not on my LinkedIn page, but I've been thinking about putting
Put it on there.
Right.
You skills.
So I admire, and I'm just blown away by musicians and artists and painters, and it's just an amazing, I can barely draw a stick man. So
I'm there with you.
For me,
I can draw a wicked stick person.
So how do you, that's the thing about what's cool. We're now well over 60, pushing 70 real estate brokers, and the largest and the fastest growing real estate company in all of North Central Washington, Keller Williams. And that has been, for me personally, awesome, because every single person, just like yourself, brings something incredibly unique and awesome to the collective. And I just think that it's fun to learn about things. Like, you have a concert coming up, you're doing some fun things, and to me, that's one of the things that people forget, that real estate brokers are just people.
Yep, we have our regular everyday lives, family, friends, hobbies, but always have our clients. Yeah,
we do, and that's important to remember, because we understand and appreciate our fiduciary responsibility with our clients, but and in large part because we've probably been there and we understand what it feels like to be disappointed. When we come back, I'll tell you what, I want to dive a little deeper into Kay Gossage and find out at that point how people can get a hold of you and hire you, and what your goals are. So we'll be back in just a few minutes with Home Sweet Home with Russ, McClellan, and Friends.
Home sweet home.